Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing Ride 4. We are here in Tsukuba on board the Kawasaki ZX6R, and this is the Kawasaki official test rider group in the Ride 4 career mode. You get accepted now on only level 4 of a manufacturer's affinity. Of course, most of my manufacturers were already level 4 or above, so now we're doing the Kawasaki, and I must say I've read some decent tests in this one. It's a shame that this game is a little bit bugged, however. I don't know if you guys are aware of this one. I don't think it's just this particular part of the career mode. Let's go for a bit of a rear brake there as we slide it into turn 9. And annoyingly, you are still left with the generic white helmet. I would rather have my own helmet or some sort of variation of a Kawasaki themed livery. But unfortunately, that's the lid you get, so that's the lid we're using. As we exit turn 10 pretty nicely now as we cross the finish line. Well within time, and well within the markers. So here we are now at the next track, which is of course Sugo. This is going to be the speed traps. And I must say, this really annoyed me. And you're going to see why. Because a lot of these speed traps I get completely juked on for no reason whatsoever. I'm clearly going the correct speeds, and for some reason the game penalises you for going the correct speed. Now this hasn't happened before the update, and this is just bizarre. You're going to see, I mean, Sugo, absolutely brilliant track, very confident in Sugo. Not particularly confident with this bike, I don't think I've ever used it before. It's, I do like the livery though, it's very retro with the sort of the bluish purple tint to the wheels, etc. and on the fairings. But already gaining a whole whopping second of penalty time, so we're going to have to be near enough perfect now for towards the end of this track, into the horseback corner, for some reason given another penalty. Might have been going too slow there, so fair enough, I'll take the 5/10. But I do feel that the rest of the areas I get penalty on were just completely unfair. That one, fair enough, I made a bit of a mistake on that one. Not usually how I like to take that corner. I usually like to go in the rumble strips and really use it as we go for the tight chicane. Gonna bump the time there, fair enough, I made a few mistakes. I did find this bike really heavily understeers. It just didn't move. I had a bit of difficulty with that one. I used a lot of front brake as well just to try and trail brake into a lot of these corners. I just couldn't seem to get it working with this bike. It's very nice to look at, but unfortunately the ZX7RR will not be on my wish list for next Christmas. So there it is. I want you to take a look at that. I got a time of 140 plus 2.5 seconds of penalty time, and yet I still was able to get the gold. So we are now here at Kanto, one of the road tracks I do genuinely really like. As I've mentioned many times before, I'm a bit too close to the curve there. Not a big fan of the road tracks. Give me a good Grand Prix style track any day of the week. As we're going to have to try and split these two rides here. Quite an audacious move there, but we get the job done. Running a little bit too wide there, but it's absolutely fine. This bike has the ability and the agility to move around as much where you want. Chuck it anywhere you like, this bike will treat you well. I must say this is one of the best handling bikes in the game. Very impressed with this one. Even with the milestones dubbed down physics, which we all adored. Now I'm going to go for a little bit of a lunge here. I'm like, whoa, did you just see that? Did I just go straight through a rider? Can we go straight through him again? Yes, we can. This game, oh my goodness, it's so weird. Now, I actually restarted this time trial, this track day, quite a few times because it was irritating me. Many of the riders were just not moving at all, and I would go straight through them. So I thought, okay, it must be a glitch. I want to try and do this properly as I make a bit of a move. A bit of a mistake there into City 2 corner. And yeah, this game has been really weird in the sense of career mode. It doesn't seem to be focused. Oh my lord, getting a bit out of shape there, bumping into the walls. But it just seems to be really bizarre sometimes, like the speed traps, getting penalty time and then not counting, and then going through riders. It's a little bit bizarre. I think Milestone have effectively made this game worse since the update, which is such a huge shame. And I've only got 2 passes remaining, so why not let it fly and just absolutely batter it into the wall of Kanto. So then moving across now to Okayama. of the ZX7R 750. I think that's correct. Soon find out towards the end, but this is a pretty nice bike, very retro. Do like some of these older classic bikes. I must say the most noticeable fact about these bikes is like that square fairing they had, and then of course the squarish windscreen. I do like stuff like that. It's so retro. I know using the modern day liveries, it would be nice if you could use like old style leathers. That'd be a nice little feature to have. No doubt I'll be behind a paywall DLC if they ever do come up with that idea. Using a lot of rear brake here into the turn 5 hairpin. Oh, almost lost the front there. Bit out of shape on this this official Kawasaki test rider duties. As I forgot to breathe there. And again, another big mistake. Now, when I did this, it was quite early on in the morning. Well, late on, because obviously, as I mentioned before, I work nights. And I was very tired, but I really wanted to get this done, so I have the video done for you guys on Boxing Day, which is here we are. So I hope you had a wonderful Christmas. Hope you enjoyed my little thank you video, because thank you. I wanted to show my gratitude. Here we are, last corner. Very cleverly named, last corner, because it is, of course, as the name suggests. And that is going to be Okayama. Quite successful, the ZXR 750 race modification bike. So we are now at a 5-lap Grand Prix at Phillip Island. If we win this one, we will then be called an official Kawasaki test rider. What a blessing. So we're going to do what we can to try and get the... Oh, big bump there onto Nicholas Banshin. Do apologise, as Leon Graham. Big move up on the inside there. Now, I wanted to try and only overtake at least 1 or 2 riders per lap on this one, to make it a little bit more interesting. Now, I didn't want to just... I know Phillip Island very well, and I know for a fact if I wanted to, I can just get past every single rider and probably have a 20-second lead. But instead, in Christmas spirit, I decided to give everyone a chance and race realistically, to make it look more real, to make it look more interesting. So we are going to stay at the back of the grid for now and slowly pick them off in the overtaking hotspots, or at least in my overtaking hotspots. Of course, not every person overtakes in the same place, but I do like a good around the outside move there. So that's our first overtake of the Grand Prix. Nicholas Bansen, the German. He makes a massive contact and he bends it in front of me at Lukey Heights. I don't know if that was my fault, maybe I touched his rear tyre, but Nicholas Banshin, he has crashed. Jacques Murray ahead, the South African. He will be next on our hit list of overtakes. And as you can see, he slows way down into this corner, forcing me to pick up the bike. But we're going to go around the outside. And now we have full throttle. We are going to reduce the throttle a bit, just so we don't get through them all. I don't like passing on straights in this game, because it's just taking advantage of a weak AI. If they fix the AI so they actually use the full top speed, it would be a lot more interesting and a lot more competitive. But it is what it is. We have what we have. This game is still great. I still love making content, so it's absolutely fine. So we now have Edna Ruiz, I don't know. The Brazilian man. Well, woman, I guess, in this instance. As Edna goes around the outside there. Very well placed. Miss Canto. Or Rui Canto. Ruiz Canto. Maybe you pronounce the Z as a TH. Did I get there? If there's a Brazilian in the chat, let me know. So we do get the Brazilian, and now it's Elena Arola. So a bit of a slide there in the rear wheel. Got to be very careful about throttling too much in that corner as we approach Lukey Heights now. Waiting for the right move on the other Kawasaki. We're making the move now. Excellently done. Turn 10. Beautiful move. That was World Superbike-esque. Must admit, there's been a crash here somewhere. Seeing the yellow flags being waved. Hopefully, whomever it is, they're okay. There's Leon Graham. Or Graham if you're American. I love how we all pronounce things differently, right? And of course, the Time Rider ahead. Not full throttle there, as you can see in the bottom right-hand corner. Actually, I think there is a water spot on the YouTube video. If that water spot is in the way of that, I'm going to remove it. So let me know in the comment section if the water spot is in the way. Because it doesn't show up for me, because it's obviously my own video, but if that water spot of the DrAce logo is in the way, and it's annoying, let me know and I can remove it. I don't think I've ever asked that question before, but now I just realised that it was the time to do it. So Leon Graham, the Australian, holds off DrAce for now. Believe you me, he is not going to hold that spot much longer. I do want to take receipt of 6th and push the Australian back further into the grid. Siberia is not going to be the corner to overtake him on. However, turn 7 is going to be the one to go around the outside. I do love a good move around the outside, you have to appreciate that. Now the TIE Rider, it's absolutely fine. You stay on the inside of the track because I'm going to line it up for the outside, which is now the inside of Lukey Heights. There's another successful overtake, another Brazilian there being very careful not to bump Oppurtinutiy Fontana. Go around the outside of Fontana here. See, it's very easy to overtake on Australia. I mean, this is a fantastic track, and it's probably one of the best tracks in MotoGP and Superbike. It's such a fantastic, long, flowing track, and it includes good hard braking zones as well, which I really enjoy. Lots of overtaking manoeuvres, lots of overtaking hotspots, and just generally lots of overtaking. The races are usually pretty good here. We do make our move on Fontana, but he does slam the door shut, metaphorically in our face. So we are in 4th on the penultimate lap. Now we have to start making some moves here to get where we want to be. Of course, that's going to be in the podium positions as we go around the outside to flick it on the inside to get ahead of Fontana. Fontana is going to try and hang it on the outside, but quick look to the left to make sure we don't bump him. Not necessary, we weren't close enough. 32% on the rear tyre. It's very rear tyre intensive, this track. With my aggressive riding style, sort of goes hand in hand. I think I went for the medium on this one. Probably would have been more beneficial to go for the hard. Freya Walker, I'm going to try and get her next into the magnificent turn 10. Is it's all going to get bunched up here? Oh, big bump into Thiago Aguilar. But it's alright, the Mexican stayed. I think we all stayed on board, actually. Thankfully, there was no carnage. A little bit of contact, but at least no carnage was made as we attempt to go around the outside of Aguilar. Pretty nicely done. We're going to go full throttle here to catch Felix Bishop. He does have a half a second gap on the final lap of this Australian Grand Prix. It's 12 o'clock, 21 degrees here in Australia in this cloudy sky. 200 kilometres an hour, firing up into turn 2, the southern loop. Waiting all the time. Let me know in the comment section below now, if you have to, pause the video so you don't miss the next part. Where do you think the overtake's coming, and do you think I'm going to overtake? Let me know. I already know where I want to go. Well and truly made my mind up, but we're going to go for it here anyway. Let him know we're there. Let him know we're closing in turn 4 Honda. Felix Bishop, the Australian, he wants to win in his home soil. Going to give him a backstory that for the AI, he lives in Melbourne. He's been racing all his career to win here. He wants to be in a Kawasaki test rider, and so do we. But we're not from Melbourne, so we're going to spoil the home cooking. As we'll try and go around the outside. You know it's coming. There's better be a smile on your face right now because you know it's coming. Turn 10. Oh, it's gonna be! Done him. How many overtakes is that into turn 10? I can make a montage. Brilliant stuff. Sign me up, Kawasaki, as your Kawasaki official test rider. And just by accelerating into this final corner, we have a second lead. That's how much I was holding back on those laps. Brilliant stuff. I really enjoyed that one. So guys, thank you very much for watching as always. Hope you had a magnificent Christmas. Really appreciate you watching the content. If you did enjoy, like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Ciao for now.